So everyone, you don't get to see this, but
No.
there's like a countdown for us when we go live in the studio that we use, and says go, and it actually looks like the intro for racing games,
Yeah.
where you're like ready to hit the
Beep,
buttons to
beep,
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 that. Yes,
beep.
it's like go. It's pretty
Yeah.
funny.
Excellent. Daniel,
Yeah.
you're fresh back from 365 EduCon, Chicago.
Chicago, Chicago, what a town.
How was the venue?
I'm sorry?
How was the venue?
The venue was not the best part of the trip. So it was at McCormick Place, and
Oh, wow. Really?
if you have been to Ignite or some other conference there, but Ignite was there 2 years in a row, back in the day, 2016, I think, or 2015,
2015. Yeah.
something like that. And it was infamous because there were SharePoint sessions on one end of the hall, like complete end of the hall, and then the next SharePoint sessions were on the other end of the hall, and you had to walk all the way, and it was like this big huge crowd of 200 people that would just go back and forth,
This mass of people.
It was incredible. That was back when people, Microsoft actually mentioned SharePoint. At
You'd lose
conferences.
like 2 or 3 pounds just,
Yeah.
going between the
So
session.
anyway,
All right.
so they this time around we were in the West, I think it's called, which was a bit of a walk. It was a one-off. It's not in the same spot it normally is for this conference. But anyway, but other than the big walk, the venue was good. Rooms are great. Had great attendance.
Cool.
The conversations are the way this conference does. They have these Ask the Expert sessions where you can go in appointed breaks. It's not even during sessions, so you can go to during breaks and sit down with an expert in different fields, different expertise, and ask them questions. Get your problems solved. So 365 EduCon does that, and so they had that. It's a fantastic time. The sponsors. I mean, it was a happening place. I took a picture and posted it on Twitter. It was a happening place. I mean, there was lots of conversations going on, and it was very enjoyable. So I had a workshop with the infamous John White. We did a workshop on Power BI, basically from everything you've ever wanted to know about Power BI, and
Some stuff you didn't want to know.
that's most certainly there was. There were, I mean, our room was packed, so that was fantastic, and yeah, it was just great to seeing people and having great conversations with customers and with other attendees. So yeah, it was a great time.
Very cool.
Yeah, indeed.
I remember, the venue and where it was and how far out it was from the city as well. So that was
Yeah.
the other thing. But isn't it one of 365 EduCon's larger events too, in attendance?
Yeah, it is. Chicago is a larger attended event. DC, Washington DC, is a well attended event, but it is definitely a lot of attendees are government. Not all, most certainly not all, but and then the other one I think is Seattle for next year as well. So that one is it's pretty well attended as well. So
All right. Well, Daniel, we are at time. Let's get on with it. And here we are. Hello, we're back again.
hello everyone and welcome back. We were having a wonderful conversation in the green rooms. The green room is where on the video side on YouTube we talk for just a couple of minutes before we go live. So for you audio podcasters, podcast listeners, if you want to check that out, you can jump right over to youtube.com/365MCS and just catch some of our green room kind of discussions.
You said that new address, Daniel. Well, this is our last show on the Regarding 365 channel. We're actually going over to that new channel location in the following week.
Indeed, we are. This will be our last episode on YouTube for our existing channel. We're going to our new channel. So this is it. Doo-wop. We are letting you know. We may have some interesting
crazy antics as a way of transitioning to a different channel. How about that?
Indeed.
But yeah, good move. We're looking forward to it because we do plan to do other things and rebuild our audience and bring more value. Isn't it always the way? We put it out there and hopefully we deliver as well.
Well, and we were just, before we started kicking off in the discussion, we were talking about one thing that would be perfect for that, which is a comparison between products that Microsoft has for calendaring and such. So that would be a perfect video for doing a one-off of, hey, let's talk about the differences here, and there actually are differences. Anyway, so be looking for more information like that to where we as a community can come together and talk about stuff. So yeah.
Well, Daniel, let's move right into our first message.
We can do that.
We can. It's a stream message, Daniel.
It is, and Stream is trying to take over Team's position as having the most.
They're doing quite well.
Yeah,
they've been consistently pumping out delivery of features.
Yeah, and just say that I actually met Mark. We had interviewed Mark on an earlier episode about Stream. Met him in person for the first time last week at 365 EduCon. So that was a treat. I got to tell him stuff, and he got to look at me like I was strange.
In person, though, so he could truly.
Yeah, no, I truly. We were walking.
That strange look, like what? Yeah. What are you asking about?
Right, I was walking down the hall, and I said, "This is what we want, Mark." And he looked at me. It's like, "Do you really?" Word for word. That's do you really?
What was that? What was that you were asking about? Or is that
I'll talk about it here in a second.
Okay.
So Microsoft Stream, upload and manage files in the Stream web app, MC439633. So the new video portal place, the new Stream web app, where we can go to see, and it is, frankly, in my opinion, not a whole lot right now of features, but it is getting new features, including this one. So I'm looking forward to this being a great place in the future as well. So this is the Stream web app is getting the ability to upload and manage files, not just view them. So targeted release expected to roll out late September. So now-ish, like a week ago. However, I looked and it wasn't there for me yet, but and be completed by early October, which is now-ish.
Well, early. I mean, where is early? Is it the first week of October, second week?
I think early is first week, mid is second or third, and late is fourth.
Okay.
That's just my opinion, but
it could still be early right up until like 1 week and 4 days, but not quite at the 2-week mark.
Okay. General availability rolling out early October, so now-ish, and completed by late October. And government clouds, yes, we're calling government clouds out. We'll begin rolling out January of 23, expected to be late 23 when that is completed. So you'll be able to upload a new video directly in the web app. Now, this is a bit confusing, Darrell, this message, because it says be able to upload those videos directly. Now, the question is, where do those videos go? Right? I'm assuming there's going to be a site picker, like be able to say your OneDrive or pick from these frequently used SharePoint sites or something.
Yeah, let's hope that it's a consistent experience like that, because it is just a file now.
Yes. Then it says users can also move a video file to a new location or make a copy if they have permissions to the video file. So, I don't understand this one, to be honest. Do you understand what that's saying? Because, I mean, we can...
It's two ways you could see this. Like, is this an action that you take with a newly uploaded file that you've just, uploaded, and maybe you want to move it from the wherever it goes to wherever you want it to be? Or is it that you're looking at a file that you have permission to, you can see it because it's the web app, it's presenting files to you, and if you've got permission, you can do something with it. Copy.
I think that's probably it. I think it's probably it that if you have permissions to it, you'll be able to do something to existing files. But is it implying that if you have to have a special permission to be able to copy a file? Or was it maybe move? Maybe you would need... these questions are coming up because I think it's maybe not worded great, this update. So, sorry, Mark. But I feel like this is just not worded exactly the way it's trying to, communicate what in the world's going on here. But of course you need permissions to be able to move, but anyway, not sure. So,
well, it's going to be kind of helpful, Daniel.
I think it'll be very helpful, right? Because videos are not just for viewing and commenting on. They're for, we need a place to... It's nice to have a central place to upload so you don't have to go to wherever you want to upload it. And I think that for organizations, what I see, what's going to have to happen is you're going to set up sites to be somewhat like channels.
Yeah.
For videos, and so that you can go to one place and upload these videos and pick the channel, quote unquote. For those audio podcast listeners, I'm putting quotes around that because it's not a channel; it's just a site that you're treating as a channel.
So this is why you'd want that file picker, because if it's a site and you want to be able to choose the folder that you've designated for videos. It could be videos. It could be whatever else you've called it. It could be recordings. Right. But anyway.
Well, and I would like to see how organizations can say, here's my home site, here's my organizational news site. I would like an organizational video site so that I can, when I go here, it's the first thing to note. Yes, I want to upload it there. Or these are organizational video sites, right? To say these 5 sites we treat, we're creating channels. That would be great. And just let you know, I don't know anything, so I'm not under NDA about this information. So if it happens, just remember, I don't know anything, and I just guessed.
We have organizational sites for news purposes, but they also do have an effect on video. That if you are using Viva Connections and you've got your feed on your page or on your mobile, then your videos from your organizational sites will appear in the feed.
Sure.
So, yeah.
Sure.
All right. Anyway.
All right. So, let's find some time to work this out.
Well, let's have a poll and talk about whether we want to vote for that time. Retort. FindTime add-in is moving to a native feature, and it'll be called Scheduling Poll. MC439633. Daniel, first reactions. Scheduling Poll versus FindTime. What do you think about the naming?
I liked FindTime.
Me too. Talked about the action, right?
Yeah, let's find a time. I liked FindTime. I think when you say it, it's it's intuitive. Saying a scheduling poll. I mean, I get it. But I also think FindTime was nice, and it's an existing known quantity. And as far as people know what the what it does and what the name is, and I don't know. I don't like it. I'll just say it. I don't like it, but I mean, they didn't ask me, so.
Well, naming aside, we also want to try and understand what is the extent going to be when it changes over. Timing wise, the change will happen late September, expect to be complete late October, so the change should be rolling out now. Some of you might be seeing it. Daniel and I aren't seeing it yet, but it is supposedly, and this is confusing language, it's replacing FindTime, but not literally replacing FindTime. I'll explain.
Maybe.
Because I need to. FindTime is an add-in, and if you wanted to use it, you would go to the App Store and add it to your Outlook experience, and then you could create these polls for organizing meetings. You would add it to an email. You can add it to a calendar invite. No, you didn't. You didn't add it to a calendar invite because by that time it's an invite. Anyway, that add-in, as I say in this message, it will still exist, but there will be no further developments. And the scheduling poll, the confusing thing here is it's not replacing FindTime. If you have FindTime in your current experience, it'll sit there and it won't do anything further. But we expect that scheduling poll will be an additional button in an email to be able to insert it into a new message and add a scheduling poll. That's what we expect.
Right, maybe.
Maybe?
Because it's... The problem here is we don't have any screenshots. We don't have any more information. We don't have anything. And then when you look at the last paragraph, which is just 2 sentences of this thing, it's confusing because first it says, when it reaches an environment, it will replace the FindTime add-in.
Yep.
However, it says the next sentence, going forward, all new features and bug fixes will apply to Scheduling Poll, which is the new name, and not the existing FindTime add-in. Which, that to me implies it will still be there.
Yeah.
So, which is it?
Yeah.
Is it going to replace it, like as in remove it? That's what replacing means.
Yeah.
Or is it replacing the functionality or copying I don't know.
Yeah.
Maybe I'm getting too hung up on the words here, but it feels very confusing to me.
Well, it's still important though, isn't it? Like if you're trying to guide people to use this new native feature, but FindTime's still going to be there, people will continue to use it until it gets turned off.
Yep.
And until they've been told otherwise. So you might need to use a mechanism to remove Can we do that? Can we remove FindTime from the apps? Like, I guess you could block the app once the scheduling poll is available.
Maybe. I don't know. That's a good question.
Let's click more information. Oh, never mind. No more information.
Look at you being snarky.
Yeah. Generally available as a native part of the Outlook web app from the end of September. Yep. And so, let's see. Will be generally available for new Outlook for Mac and Outlook for Windows desktop clients in early 2023. So, yeah. That's when it will come out for everybody. Those of you who are on targeted release, I don't know if it's your whole org or whether it's just a small group, but tell us how this played out so we can prepare our people when it becomes generally available. Daniel, can you tell us about, sticking with the booking and calendar theme.
This is Microsoft Teams. Teams calendar now includes scheduling form pop-outs. MC440117 pop-outs? That's plural. Like, wouldn't it be pop-out? Because, I mean, it's just one, right? You when you're scheduling a meeting, you don't do multiple pop-outs. You do one pop-out.
Is that getting
I love
annoying
the
yet?
sound effects. Yeah, I think so we'll be rolling out late October and expected to be completed by late November. So basically, we've talked about popping out chat, popping out the in your meeting, the video or the shared content. Sorry,
Content. Yep.
So now we're going to be able to pop out the when we're creating a new item in our calendar, we'll be able to have that as a separate window. Now, that's great, right? Because it's nice to be able to switch back and forth. Hey, wait, I'm scheduling a meeting for so-and-so, but they sent me a message, or it was in a channel to tell me why I need to schedule this message. Well, how do I get back to what they said? Well, I have to go click on Teams and get back to the channel. And then I go and click on calendar and, oh, wait, I just lost my meeting I was trying to schedule. So this is going to help that, right? You pop out the meeting you're scheduling, although you then have to go back to Teams anyway, in my scenario, to find the channel, but at least you don't lose the meeting invite. It would be great to have schedule a meeting. Since we're popping this out anyway, why don't we have a scheduling meeting button on every one of a little icon on every chat message
To turn so that would be like when you can turn an email message into a meeting invite. It's one of the actions you can take. So that would be kind of cool. Yeah, you could click
so you
that
could just click it. It pops up a new meeting with maybe everyone who's talked in the thread or something.
Yes.
I don't know.
And a link through to the chat and maybe the last couple of responses or...
This is getting good.
Maybe not, because that could get dangerous. But at least a link through to the conversation.
Yes, I think it would be fantastic. So we just expanded this. Maybe sometime.
Plus more, Daniel.
Maybe sometime it'll come. But you can also do existing meetings, pop those out if you would like. So it'll be automatically pushed out. You don't have to do anything, but you may want to update, and tell people about it, because I think it is a helpful feature because it's overcoming something that's been kind of an issue for a little while, like from the existence of calendaring and Teams. So this is good. Do you like it, Darrell?
I do. I think we're going to see more popping out to be able to create and do things alongside Teams. Like maybe the Office application of opening up a document that we could set up alongside Teams. But yeah, I think we'll save this for a separate recording, won't we? We're going to compare the calendar experience in Outlook to the calendar experience in Teams. Let's record that and drop it as a new video on our new channel.
Okay. Sounds wonderful. Now, let's move on to our next message, shall we? And be more confused. Let's take a note about this, how confused we can get.
I'll take a OneNote or two. And which one and where? Right. Consolidating OneNote apps on Windows MC440118. A very brief message, but I've already seen some jubilation from the OneNote community expressed in video, talking about, yes, we've finally got a consolidated version of OneNote, and we're moving from OneNote 2016 to, what do they call it? They don't even give it a year now, Daniel. They call it OneNote for Windows.
No.
OneNote. No?
OneNote.
OneNote.
It's just OneNote.
What? But which? Is it OneNote for Windows or Windows? Because it's not Windows 10 anymore.
It's just OneNote.
It's just OneNote. Okay. And where do we find that OneNote? Because it's still kind of free, I think. But
it's in the store.
What are they doing with it? It's in the store. Okay. And this update. Well, it's talking about removing the ability to install OneNote for Windows 10, because you probably should be on 11. or not.
Yes. And so one thing Darrell, you notice in this message, it doesn't tell you when this is happening. So if you go, right, but if I just did it, you go into the store and you search for OneNote.
Yep.
There's only one OneNote, and it's called OneNote. There is no OneNote for Windows 10 in the App Store right now.
Are you on Windows 11?
I am on 10, actually. On this machine, I'm on 11 on my others. But
yep.
So I actually have both installed on my computer.
Okay.
I have
What happens
Windows...
when because if you've got an app installed already, it'll know that. So what happens when you click on it?
So if I go to the store and I search for OneNote, the Windows Store, and it comes up, it knows that I have it installed.
Yep.
So I click open, right, instead of get or whatever it is. And I click on open, and it opens what you would expect is it would open the OneNote application, which is what they're consolidating to. But no, au contraire, mon frère, it opens up the OneNote for Windows 10. So it opens up the wrong one.
Or is this kind of a hangover for the whole protocol thing in the background? You know, when you can associate an app with a certain link or thing that opens?
Indeed. Darrell, I think it is. Thank you for teeing that up quite nicely. So I'm sharing my screen here, and I will show that for those on the audio podcast, I just went to my Windows settings, and I did a search for default apps. And you can select by protocol, and I scroll down, and I'm going to zoom in for those video. And there are 3 OneNote options here for selecting. One is OneNote. One is OneNote Command, CMD. And the third one is OneNote Desktop. And the OneNote and OneNote Desktop have selected OneNote, which is the holdover. That's the one they're going to. That's what we previously known as, kind of the one that was installed by Windows or Office. That one, OneNote 2016. And then the middle one is OneNote-CMD, and that says OneNote for Windows 10. Okay, so I think that's why when I go to the store and I click open, the only OneNote app that's in the store, it actually opens up OneNote for Windows 10. So you might say, well, Daniel, just change it. Okay, that's valid. Good point.
And whoever
how, just said that.
But not everyone else will.
Yeah, I clicked right there. And it says, do you want to select the thing that's already existing, which is OneNote for Windows 10, or do you want to look for an app in the Microsoft Store? That sounds interesting. So I'm going to click that. And when I do, I'm going to drag it over here to the screen. When I do that, it opens up the nice store with nothing.
Yeah, with nothing.
So I'm going to close it.
You've already got OneNote.
And I'm going to click it again.
Yeah.
And show you. It shows me nothing. In fact, the first time I did this, it gave me an error saying no application found. So it can't even find it. So I think maybe they need to fix some things in the background there, because when I click open, it should open OneNote, not OneNote for Windows 10, because it is the OneNote app, right? It should actually open up the app that it is. And so even if I need to manually come in here, which I shouldn't have to, but if I do, then I need to at least be able to pick it, but I can't.
Yeah.
So, that's my story, and I'm going to stick to it.
No, I like the story. It's a good story. Yeah. Do you think they'll get it right by end of life in October 2025?
I hope so. Well, they may just hope people ditch Windows 10 by then and won't have to deal with it. So I don't know.
Perhaps. But yeah, that is the last message. As Daniel said, for that one, like we don't know when it'll happen. It's happening. It's whatever. But we thank you for joining us.
Right? Yeah, thank you.
We might have had like a few wobbles there with the internet connectivity between us. I did notice that as we were playing through that Daniel froze occasionally and sped up occasionally. That it just could be my experience, could be, but hopefully it's come through fine on your side. And that Daniel, if I can say, that's a nice final hurrah to being on the Regarding 365 channel, and thinking of the early days when we were trying to make it work with Teams and OBS and patching through all sorts of things, and we would often start 1 or 2 minutes late, sometimes even 5, because we couldn't get things to work consistently.
So make sure you're following us. This is the last episode on this channel. Make sure you're following, you're subscribed, and you get alerted on the new channel, which is youtube.com/365MCS. We will be broadcasting there next time. So make sure you are subscribed, and also make sure you're connected with us on the socials. We are 365MCS on all of the socials. So make sure you look us up and connect with us, so we can connect with you. Maybe share this episode out with those that on socials, and make sure to tag us so we can amplify you. All right?
All right. Well, until then, that's where you'll find us. We'll see you over on that other channel next week. Bye for now.
Bye-bye.